There are certain functions that all animals must perform in order to live. Throughout this unit, we'll look at each one of those individually and how they work on the level of the organism and on the level of the cell. We'll start with digestion. Animals are heterotrophs, which means they must eat their food, unlike plants that make their own food. The reason we need to eat in the first place is to get energy and nutrients, so the process of digestion can extract the nutrients and break down the compounds that contain energy. The picture of this guy's digestive system might look silly, but it illustrates some important aspects of digestion. Our digestive tract is a one-way street where substances stop so they can be further broken down or absorbed. Many organisms break down food the way that we do, through the use of specialized digestive organs. This is called extracellular digestion because the food itself doesn't go into cells. In humans, organs like the stomach and small intestines each have a specific role in performing the task of getting nutrients from the food to the parts of the body that need the nutrients and energy. Digestion done in organs is done outside the cell, usually in a hollow space. For example, the stomach is a hollow muscular organ that breaks down food when the muscle squeezes it, and also chemically breaks down food when it secretes digestive enzymes that chemically break down the food. In simpler organisms that don't have organs, all of their digesting is done inside of cells. This is called intracellular digestion. Sponges digest their food this way. The picture on the right shows a sponge and how it eats. The walls of a sponge contain tiny pores that take in ocean water into a central cavity. The nutrients then move from cell to cell in a process called diffusion. Diffusion is when any substance moves from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Sponges do have specialized cells within their bodies for things like detecting light and moving things from one cell to another. So even though sponges don't have organs per se, they do have specialized structures that help them to do specialized tasks. Animals that have digestive organs may have them arranged in one of two ways. Generally, more simple animals have a gastrovascular cavity. This is one centralized cavity where food is digested and nutrients are absorbed. That's why it's called the gastrovascular cavity. Gastro means stomach, and vascular has to do with circulation. So the gastrovascular cavity acts like the stomach, which digests food, and it also absorbs nutrients into the bloodstream. A gastrovascular cavity is found in the center of an animal. Food moves through a centralized opening, and waste products leave through the same opening. And when I say waste products here, organisms with a gastrovascular cavity don't really produce poop per se. It's more leftover unused food and the chemical byproducts from the digestive process. So it's really not as gross as it might sound at first. An example of an animal that digests its food this way is a jellyfish. It uses tentacles to sweep food into its mouth, and then digestive enzymes secreted by specialized cells lining the gastrovascular cavity break down the food. The nutrients obtained from broken down food are absorbed into the circulatory system. Any waste products leave through the centralized opening. Generally, more complex animals have two digestive openings instead of just one like a jellyfish. All vertebrates and many invertebrates have a digestive tract. This is a one-way digestive system where food enters the mouth, passes through a series of specialized organs, and then waste products pass through a second opening at the end of the digestive system. A one-way digestive system is advantageous to animals because it allows their digestive organs to have specialized jobs. For example, in humans, our stomach breaks down food, both using enzymes to chemically break down food particles and mechanically, squeezing the food and physically breaking it down. Your mouth also does chemical and physical digestion, or chemical and mechanical digestion, Salivary glands produce enzymes that break down food. So when your mouth waters, your body is actually physically preparing itself to eat by producing the enzymes that will be needed to chemically break down food. If you chew carbohydrates, especially white bread or crackers, for a long enough time, they'll start to taste sweet. This is because one of the enzymes produced in your salivary glands breaks down carbohydrates and turns them into sugar, which tastes sweet. Your mouth also mechanically breaks down food when you chew the food. In humans, the small intestine absorbs nutrients, so they're covered in wrinkles, folds, and little parts of the surface that stick out to increase the amount of surface area available to absorb nutrients. Just under the surface is a dense network of blood vessels, so that when the nutrients are absorbed, they can be taken directly into the blood where they're distributed to the rest of the body. Finally, the large intestine absorbs water. Waste products that are left over pass out of the body through the second digestive opening, the anus. Not all vertebrates or invertebrates with a one-way digestive tract have the same specialized organs that humans do. If you look at the picture of the digestive system of a bird, it has a couple of organs that humans don't. Birds and other animals like earthworms and grasshoppers have a gizzard where food is ground. There might be small teeth or rocks in the gizzard that help to grind the food. Another specialized organ that birds have, and not humans, is called the crop. This organ stores food so that it can be digested slowly, and more nutrients can be extracted from the food. So in your notes, make a table or a Venn diagram that compares and contrasts a one-way and a two-way digestive system.